Hi, my name is Corey Minter. I'm president of Trinity Employment Specialists. Trinity, we are a staffing organization. We staff in both Oklahoma City and Tulsa markets primarily, and we cover everything in the medical field that you can think of. We staff for all the major hospitals, and we also do staffing in finance, accounting, and banking. Trinity, what we try to focus on is hiring only A players for our organization, and we try to go by the idea that you not tolerate B and C level players through us, and allow us to get you an A player. Sometimes that means you need to terminate your way to an A player. So as a staffing company, we have many options for people. So all we're trying to do is give them the opportunity to get where they can best fit. But our main goal is to hire only A players. And when we do that, you won't need us very long. We've worked ourselves out of I don't know how many awesome companies this last year, and it's all because we provided them a bunch of A players. A players do three things. One, they stay longer. Two, they recruit other A players to come and work with them, so you reduce your recruiting costs. And three, they also do 1.5 times the work oftentimes. So when we get our companies A players, it literally revolutionizes their ball game as a company, and it elevates them to a higher level. And that's what we want to do for the organizations that we work with. So if you're needing help in the staffing world and you're not getting A players, I really want to challenge you to give us a call. I would love to even talk with you, even if I just showed you the system. Maybe you could do it on your own, but if not, Trinity has a track record of doing it to I don't know how many companies, big and large big and smaller companies. So I want to go over just real quickly for this little bit about common mistakes made when you're rushing the hiring process. People do this all the time. We have to slow them down. I'm telling you, you wouldn't believe how many people we just try to slow down and make sure that they get only an A player for their organization. But these are some of the reasons why. So let's kind of dig into this. The first thing that happens oftentimes in small and medium-sized companies generally is they have a failure of defining the role clearly. So you ask them, well, what do you want this person to do? And as a staffing company, you can tell real easily. They don't know what they want because they'll change it. They're like, well, we think we want them to do this, and we think they want them to do this. And listen, an A player is not going to tolerate that whenever they get in there. If you bring somebody in and you really don't know what they're doing, and you're just going to try to figure it out when they get there, you want to try to hire the right person and then let them figure it out, most of your A players are not going to tolerate that. And many B players won't tolerate that. So you're going to be stuck with a C player, which is the only group that's going to be willing to go through a job for long term and have no idea and have no clear vision of what it is that they're supposed to be doing. So not having a good, well thought out job description and understanding of what each position is going to be doing, all because you're in a rush, is a huge mistake. You'll lose thousands of dollars. Please don't do this. It'll hurt your company, I promise you. Second thing, they don't have any kind of interviewing plan. They're in a rush. They've got this will probably sound really common to a lot of companies actually. You're so busy you don't even know what's going on, and you do not plan for that interview. You don't have any kind of interviewing process at all. So you walk in there, you look at their resume, and you start asking and firing out random questions. This is not a good interviewing strategy for you. And you might not think so, but you will waste your company, or if this is your company, you will waste your own money in a drastic way. Just go look online about the cost of having a mishire. It's tens of thousands of dollars. It's not a small amount. Walmart says if they hire a cashier at $11 an hour and they bring him in and they work for him for 3 months and they quit, they consider that an $11,000 loss. And that's only $11 an hour. Think about if you're trying to hire somebody at more than that. How much money is your company losing because you don't have a good hiring process? So make sure you have a good interviewing plan. You have this well thought out. Third thing, do not ask yes and no questions. I remember earlier on in my career, I hope my wife didn't listen to this because she'll get mad at me for saying it. she would ask yes or no questions. She would ask a question. So, and it was a leading yes or no question. She would ask something like, so are you the type of person that likes to get things done? Or are you someone who really likes to just kind of have a casual day? It's like a black and white. Or, do you enjoy meeting goals? She would ask this stuff. It's like they knew exactly what it was. So whatever your question is, do not let them get away with a yes or no answer. That is giving away your entire strategy. You have to ask open-ended questions that force them to explain themselves. Let me give you an example. Explain to me a situation where you struggled with your supervisor, but you needed to meet goals. How did you handle that? Give a scenario type of a question, so they have to explain what their behavior is going to be like. Because here's the thing. They are going to have a behavior when they get in your organization. It would be nice if you had an idea of what that behavior is going to be like. And you can do that. You can research behavioral style interviewing questions. They'll give you some great ideas. And I strongly suggest that you go in and just go to Google and say best high quality interviewing questions and pick the ones that are relative to you. And if not, go on to Amazon and read my book called Handbook to Getting Hired. And I've got a list of good interviewing questions that I'm suggesting that the people that read it go over and know what they're going to say with each one of those interviewing questions. Make sure you know what you're going to ask and ask the same questions of each candidate. It'll help you. Third thing. I already did the third thing. Sorry. Fourth thing is don't ask leading questions. I kind of went into that earlier. Here's how this sounds. Here at Trinity, we really need someone who is active and engaging in this role. Does that describe you? Don't let them know what you're thinking. You're revealing your hand. It's like playing a horrible game of poker or something. But you wouldn't believe how many people do this without knowing. So don't ask any leading questions. Don't reveal your hand. Make sure you need to ask the question and say, can you describe your personality style when things are, or give me an example of how you handled the situation when you were stressed but you knew you needed to meet a goal. That has them explain the whole thing. You don't let them off with a yes or no answer. The fifth thing is it's a problem when you don't involve others. You need to involve other people in your team. Make sure that they have input and that they're at least on board with an individual and they don't have some huge reasoning why you shouldn't hire them. If anything else, you don't want your team to question your decision making because as a leader, you need to be the leader the whole time. They need to trust you. And when you don't involve them in decisions and you just go rogue and go on your own, oftentimes you'll lose trust with the team and they won't feel a part of what you're doing. So make sure that you have them feel a part. The sixth thing is, and I'll end there. I've probably got 3 or 4 others, but don't ignore red flags. Run to them. It depends on your kind of personality that you have. I naturally gravitate towards things like that, and I'm going to run towards red flags and start asking questions and understanding. There are many interviewers that will sense a red flag and they'll like the person so much, or they just met them and it makes them feel uncomfortable to ask really bold questions. Listen, fight that fear. Fight that fear. You'll save yourself or your company thousands of dollars by fighting that fear. Red flags need to be ran towards, not left alone. And when you leave them alone, I'm telling you, they show up in your company then. And all of these things, listen, I've been in this game for 20 years now. I've done it all wrong. Every last bit of this stuff that I just told you, I've done it all wrong. The reason I'm trying to share this with you is I just don't want you to have to do it wrong. Hopefully you'll learn from some of my mistakes. Listen, if you're having any kind of problem at all, staffing for your organization, Trinity would love to help you. if you'll give us a call at 918-622-2588, we'd love to discuss with you our A-player system that works so well for companies, or you can visit us online at trinityemployment.com. Thank you.